American AI giants and lawmakers want to ban China's DeepSeek. They're claiming it's a security threat, but is that really true? Or is this just a power grab? I've been following this DeepSeek ban debate because it's hitting the AI tools I use every day, and I want to walk you through it piece by piece. But first, I need to tell you about this incredible AI tool that I've been using, which has genuinely surprised me. It's called VideoGen, and it creates an entire video with a voiceover and footage from a text prompt. There are tons of video generators out there, but none of them deliver the high quality I've seen with VideoGen. Click the link in the description to check it out for yourself. OpenAI is the company pushing hardest for this ban. They're the ones who built ChatGPT, and they're worried that DeepSeek, a Chinese AI company, could knock the US off its top spot in AI technology. Their big issue is China's data laws. In China, the government can demand that any company hand over all the data they've collected, with no exceptions. If you use DeepSeek's AI on your phone or laptop, OpenAI warns that everything you type could end up with Chinese officials. They're calling this a national security risk, not just a privacy headache. OpenAI wants the US government to block DeepSeek's models from running in certain areas, specifically places already under tough export rules. Those rules stop high-end AI chips from being shipped to China and countries like it. OpenAI's argument is simple. If we're already keeping powerful chips away from China, why let their AI models run here? They say it's not just about data leaks. They're worried DeepSeek could swipe American ideas or even mess with critical systems if it's not stopped. They've also claimed DeepSeek might have copied their own tech to get this far, but they haven't brought any hard evidence to the table. That's a heavy charge, and it's got me wondering what's really driving this. Now, let's get into who DeepSeek is. They're not a government-run outfit. DeepSeek spun off from a hedge fund called High Flyer, a private company based in Hangzhou, China, focused on making money through investments. High Flyer was started by Liang Wenfeng, who's also behind DeepSeek. This isn't some state lab cooking up tech for Beijing. It's a business that saw a chance in AI and took it. Things got complicated when Liang met with China's President Xi Jinping earlier this year, and it's raised eyebrows because it suggests China's leaders might see DeepSeek as a way to win the AI race and manipulate it for their own intentions. There's no paper trail showing DeepSeek gets cash or orders from the government, though. The meeting's public, but what they talked about isn't. For me, it's a flag to keep an eye on. It's not just OpenAI that wants DeepSeek banned. Anthropic, the team that made Claude, has their own concerns about DeepSeek. They've zeroed in on DeepSeek's R1 model, which launched in January 2025. R1 can tackle tough tasks like math problems or coding projects, and it's impressively sharp. Anthropic's hinting that it's too sharp. They tested R1 and found it answers questions that Claude and ChatGPT won't touch, like how to build biological weapons. Those other models have safety locks to block dangerous requests, but R1 doesn't seem to care. Anthropic's worried this could let bad actors use it for harm, especially since it's open source, meaning anyone can download it. They're also pointing at a chip problem. The US bans top-tier NVIDIA chips, like the H100, from going to China, but a weaker version, the H20, is still legal there. The H20 was designed to dodge export limits, and it's decent enough to train models like R1. Anthropic wants those shipments stopped, saying they're fueling DeepSeek's rise. Google, the company behind Gemini, sees things a little differently. They agree security is a concern, but they're telling the government not to overreact with rules that could box in US companies. They want room to keep growing globally, not just lock down borders. It's like they're all seeing the same storm, but arguing over how to stay dry. This debate is about more than just safety. It's tied to data and legal fights, too. OpenAI is asking the US to let them use copyrighted material, like books, articles, or images, to train their AI without jumping through hoops. They say China's AI labs, like DeepSeek, don't face the same limits because copyright laws there are lax. DeepSeek could be pulling in tons of data to make R1 smarter, while OpenAI is stuck dealing with lawsuits. In the US, artists and news companies have sued OpenAI and others since 2023, claiming that their work has been used without pay or permission. OpenAI says that if they can't use that material under broader fair use rules, that they'll lag behind. Anthropic and Google nod to this, saying fair use has been key to US AI growth so far. For me, it's a peek into how these tools I rely on get made and why the rules around them are such a mess. There's a practical side to this too: power and buildings. OpenAI says they need a massive boost in electricity to keep building better AI. They're talking 50 gigawatts by 2027, enough to light up millions of homes. That means new data centers, huge warehouses packed with computers, and miles of power lines to feed them. They're pushing the government to cut red tape and get it done fast. If the US can't deliver, they warn labs might pack up and move elsewhere. Anthropic agrees, saying that energy is the backbone of staying ahead. I see it as the nuts and bolts behind the tools I use, and it's insane to think how much juice they need. The government's wrestling with this whole thing. The Trump administration, back in office since January 2025, asked for an AI action plan to keep the US on top. They opened it up for ideas in February 2025, with a deadline of March 15th. OpenAI submitted their take, framing it as democratic AI versus what they call authoritarian AI from China. They say DeepSeek's a state tool, but there's no proof it's funded or run by Beijing. They want one federal rulebook, not a patchwork of state laws, and a deal where the government tests AI for risks. Anthropic's submission, filed the same week, highlights national security worries. Google's input, also from mid-March, pushes for balance, wanting rules that don't choke US firms while still eyeing global markets. It's a bit of a tangle, but it's shaping the tools we'll have tomorrow. Elon Musk's in the mix too, with his own fight. He co-founded OpenAI in 2015, but left in 2018 to start xAI. Now he's suing OpenAI, saying they've ditched their non-profit roots for profit. OpenAI went for profit in 2019 and raised $6.6 billion in October 2024. Musk's mad about their Microsoft partnership, which started in 2019 and deepened since, claiming it's an unfair edge. He offered $97.4 billion to buy them out in late 2024, but Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, said no. The lawsuit's speeding up, with both sides agreeing in March 2025 to a trial by fall. For me, it's a side battle that could shift which AI tools and companies I end up trusting. So, what's the bigger picture? DeepSeek's caught in a clash over control. OpenAI and Anthropic say it's about safety, but it feels like they're guarding their turf too. Texas banned DeepSeek on state devices in February 2025, citing data risks. Google's playing it cooler, focused on international growth. I see OpenAI pushing for limits on others while dodging their own heat, lawsuits and all. For me, it's about picking tools that work, not just buying the loudest pitch. The DeepSeek ban idea is a messy stew of real fears and company games. OpenAI's at the front, Anthropic's got their angle, Google's holding steady, and Musk's stirring the pot. The government has to fix this by year's end, per Trump's plan. What do you think will happen? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this.